Hey, welcome back to another episode of Life Along the Streetcar, where we cover all of the cultural, social, and economic impacts happening within the urban core. And we define that as from A Mountain to the University of Arizona. I've been doing this since 2017. Excited to have you with us today. And our guest is from right smack dab, I think in the middle of this, on 4th Avenue. It's the namesake of Dean's Public House. We didn't just go to one of the employees. We went to the namesake, and we have in the studio on our show today the very famous Dean Howard of Dean's Public House. So Dean, welcome in.
Thank you very much. Honored to be here.
Yeah, how do you get a bar named after you?
Work.
Okay, there you go.
That's an interesting question. Where do I begin?
Well, let's start with you. You've grown up most of your life in Tucson, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you're originally from, you said, in Indiana. My family's
from South Bend, Indiana.
Okay.
I was born in Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
And we moved out here after there was a nasty blizzard in the Midwest in 1978. And I was 4 the first time we visited. And I immediately fell in love with the place.
Yeah, at 4 years old, I can imagine.
4 years old, yeah. I already didn't like winter. Anybody that comes in the bar has heard this story 1,000 times. Came out and absolutely fell in love with the place. Smelled orange blossoms for the first time. Lizards running around, sunshine, and this I mean this wholeheartedly. It was like coming home to a place you'd never been before.
Nice. And
yeah,
you experienced a lot at 4 years old. I don't remember my being 4.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So since you were 4, have you been in Tucson ever since?
No. We came back. We came out in the spring of, I believe, 76. Again in the spring of 77, and then ended up moving for good in 79, probably. Okay. Summer of 78, 79, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're so young, and you've been here so long. I know you're not from here, but you really are a part of. I mean, this is really who
Native.
you are. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then, so like, where'd you go to school? What'd you like?
I went to, I was in the Flowing Wells district.
Okay. The 05.
The 05, baby.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So up on like Orange Grove and Thornydale.
Okay.
When there was nothing out there. And they were building what would become my elementary school. So for the first year, I went to Laguna Elementary School. Mm-hmm. And then Richardson opened up. And then on to Flowing Wells Junior High, and then Flowing Wells High School.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's the
Caps for life, baby.
You get the whole circuit there.
In
Flowing Wells.
Yeah.
Well, let's fast forward a little bit. Did you at 4 years old? Did you kind of come to Tucson? You're like, I can smell the orange blossoms. I love this weather. There's lizards. I think someday I'm gonna run a bar. Or
Not yet.
How do we get there?
Not yet.
How do we get there from 4 to getting into the industry?
So, grew up playing soccer.
Okay.
Absolute favorite sport in the world. And let's see, when I was 12, this is the seed, I guess. When I was 12 years old, I got selected for an all-star soccer team. And the coach of that team was Vinnie Spina of Mama's Pizza.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he made a huge impact on me. Just an incredible man. Had so much to do with me being who I am to this day. So 12 years old, played for him, all-star soccer team, go through life, played all throughout high school, and then ended up at Pima, and I was playing there. And that part of my life kind of ran its course. So I ended up going to work for Vinnie and the Spina family at Mama's. And so that's where I fell in love with the service industry. For some reason, I was able, not playing competitive soccer anymore. I found it very competitive. I like to win. Excuse me. So on Friday and Saturday nights, we were insanely busy. And you were just going hard for hours and hours and hours. And I got such a joy providing that service for people, having the connection. And then at the end of the night, if everything went well and people were happy, you won.
Yeah. And
That was a victory.
And there is that adrenaline rush in the middle of the rush, right?
Huge,
You're trying to balance 16 different top priorities and keep a smile on your face and dealing with all the challenges that people aren't seeing.
Yeah.
The restaurant industry provides a really interesting space for competitive people.
It is the connection that you get with your guests is an absolute drug for me. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I see such value in the connections that are made in the bar now. One of my favorite things is to see people who have never met before meet in front of me in the bar and become friends. Yeah. You know, each of them walked in that day individually, had no idea who the other one was, and then I see them come back time and time again together. I love that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that.
So then fast forwarding a little bit, when I first heard about Dean's Public House, it was actually, I was interviewing Brendan Scott, and we were talking about his new collaboration, Stage Left, and kind of getting his history. And he's talking about, he just casually mentioned, so one of the places he has is Trackside, which will soon be renamed Dean's Public House. Yeah. So, and he told us a little bit of story that I'm going to let you tell the story because he has a very specific version of how it gets to that name.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Well, let's start with Trackside. So when did you get involved with Brennan in that group? Like, what was that like?
Well, we started Trackside. Some friends of mine, David and John and Meek, they knew the Dillinger guys, and Dillinger was doing their thing.
So it was the Dillinger, it was the tap house for Dillinger.
So
I guess let's set the stage. So we're at the Coronado Hotel on 4th, right there after the underpass. It had been a restaurant for a while. The Coronado moved out, and then was Dillinger the next, and then Dillinger became guys.
Yeah. So David and John, I knew the guys. They made them an offer to buy the tap room. They kind of knew me through another life. They were guests of mine when I was at Topgolf, and we had remained pretty close. I left Topgolf, went to Trident, another story, and we kept in touch. So they tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, look, we've got an idea, or we've got an opportunity, I should say." And I said, "Well, let me go take a look." And I came down, and it was a Saturday. I remember very vividly. The U of A was playing a football game. I come down 4th Avenue. The energy, the buzz is in the air. You can smell food, music, you see people. And then I took a couple of steps onto the patio of what is now our spot. And I turned around, and based on location alone and having come down to that area for 30 years, I couldn't say no.
Yeah.
I couldn't say no.
I mean,
that's how we became Trackside.
It's so ideal. You got this iconic hotel behind you. You're right next to a streetcar stop. You're on you're close enough you're downtown in 4th Avenue. You're like really kind of at that nexus.
I call it the elbow.
The elbow. Okay.
The elbow between 4th Avenue and downtown.
Right. I'm going to start calling it the elbow.
Please do.
But you'd said something I was going to ask you about. Had you been familiar? Because some of the places you worked were more outside of the urban area. But had you worked on 4th Avenue?
Never. I'd never been. I never worked at any of the spots down there. But just as a patron.
Okay, so 30 years of coming down, you kind of had a feel for the vibe. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here you are. It's a Saturday. The game's playing. The place is hopping. It's probably a little bit of sunshine hitting that patio, and you're just your eyes light up and say yes. Yeah, well, the place wasn't hopping, but yeah, based on location at that particular time, Dillinger, that it wasn't hopping. But I felt on that location alone. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. And so that becomes Trackside. Yeah. I knew from the very beginning that it was going to be quite a challenge. To say that we didn't have a lot of funds would be a gross understatement. So David and Jonna have a tattoo shop, and that shop needed their full attention. Sure. So that's when Brendan and Eric came in. And it was quite a boost for us. We had some things that we could do. We had some funding. And
there was this is my version of the story, how the seed was planted to be called Dean's. So I think it was one of the first times that Brandon and I talked. He was he's going to dispute this probably, but this is the truth. So he was walking out onto the patio through the gate to get to the street, and he said to me, in my memory, he looked up and he's like, what did he say? You never know. Someday your name might be on that sign. So that was the seed was planted, and I took that and I ran with it very quietly, sort of. I knew we kind of got a new some life was breathed into the place with those guys coming on, and I just went to work, and I just poured myself into it.
Nice.
Absolutely poured myself into the place. And so things started to get better, and business was growing. And I had started making like little notes to myself, my plans. And I can't remember exactly how I came up with Dean's Public House, but it's in one of my little notebooks. And the things that I wanted for the bar are written down in there as well. But I decided that I was going to start. A friend of mine made some designs for merch, or the signs up above the place, or whatever we wanted to use them for. And I took one of those designs and I started making shirts. And I started selling those shirts. And I thought it's either going to be, the first shirts ever made for Dean's Public House, or it's going to be something that's in the back of your closet getting dusty.
Yeah.
And so those are collector's items, I guess, now, those original shirts. But when I finally approached the guys, the way that I did that, so I took another design. You'll see, I've got some for you. It's actually this logo right here.
Okay.
And I had some very nice hoodies made up, and I also had some stickers made up. And I figured I was going to take the holiday party as my big opportunity.
This is where Brendan's and your story start to align. You're at a holiday party. Some cocktails are flowing.
Some cocktails.
And you're like, hey, I have an idea.
So I have these two hoodies in Christmas bags, I go to the holiday party, go upstairs, and I was going to take my big opportunity to get those two guys away from everybody else and make my pitch. So we were outside, and there were some cocktails involved. That wasn't, part of the plan, but it didn't hurt, I don't think. And I just started talking to them, and I picked up the bags and I handed one to each of the guys, and I said, "It's time." And they looked at each other and kind of talked for about 90 seconds and said, "All right, let's do it." Something along those lines.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Trackside, it's got a nice, given the location and everything else, it's got a nice connection to that. But really, Dean's Public House is very unique in the naming of it. Just the idea of a public house. And, it's not a bar or tavern or a club. It's a place where we come to gather.
Yeah, very much so.
And yours, because of the location, you've got a nice, really beautiful interior, but that patio provides that public atmosphere, that connection.
The best people watching on the avenue.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Right at the elbow.
At the elbow. That's right. The elbow.
So it's been this way, for like 5-6 months now?
Yeah. It was right before Christmas. And at midnight, 1 second into 2026, I went to the socials and changed the name. And then with some help from another friend of mine, we went and changed everything on Google and whatnot, and then had the signs put up, and full blown now. Yeah,
I think I remember at one point going by, and the door had the Deans on the door, but the sign still said Trackside. It's like, I think I went over because Brendan had told me it was going to be happening soon. Yeah. So I was like, oh, breaking news! I got to get over there.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know which it is because the sign. we're almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic, and I have to, the dream of what you're doing has been in the minds of so many service industry people, right? I'm going to open my own restaurant. I'm going to have my own place. And and to have the support of the ownership like that to kind of give you some creativity and control over that's got to be so rewarding.
It is. It really is. I can't even explain because, it is the dream of a lot of people. And, I guess when we started it as Trackside, even, it wasn't even that dream was there, obviously, somewhere. But the way things have fallen into place has just been an absolute joy. It's nice to be able to take ideas going back years, decades on, some of them, and hearing wherever you were at, whether it was corporate or mom and pop, you hear no a lot. And I knew in my heart that I believed anyway that a lot of the ideas that I had would work, and they're real simple. It's really simple. Some of the things that I learned at Mama's, at the 90s is just they're your guests, and you don't have to really fool somebody into having a good time and enjoying themselves. It's real simple. I mean, it is for me anyway, not to toot my own horn. I'm just throwing a party.
Yeah.
That's it, man. It's not rocket science, or I don't know. It's hard to explain sometimes. It's just a feeling. I love it.
Well, I don't go out as much as I used to, but I did stop in during. I had some things going on 4th Avenue, and then there was it was one of the early games for the Cats in the tournament, and it was
this year.
Yeah, it was hopping.
Yeah, we had a great time.
It was hopping. And one thing I noticed, I went in and I saw you, and I knew who you were, but we hadn't met at all. So and you were busy, so I wasn't going to interrupt. But you had a couple other people working behind the bar.
Yeah.
But that sense of community was very apparent because they were because it's kind of a small space, but they were connecting people to share. Okay, well, there's space over here. they were bringing people together.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
And sort of that public house feel. Come on in, and you're just going to be part of the family.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a good experience. Well, switching gears a little bit here, and don't have as much time to talk about this as I would love to, but I do want to get this on because in that interview with Brennan and Billy, we were talking about Stage Left and the Rialto courtyard that they have behind there, and kind of coming up with ideas. And like you, I've had an idea percolating in my head for years of a way to unify the different districts on the streetcar route. Because when I look at 4th Avenue, Main Gate, Mercado, and downtown, I see an urban core. I don't see 4 distinct places. I see, if you're coming from the north, you're coming from somewhere else, you hop on the streetcar, you're in the urban core. You just different stops along the way.
Yeah.
And to unify that, I wanted to come up with this idea of the Streetcar Cocktail. And the idea was that the bars along this urban core would all serve a version of this drink called a streetcar cocktail. But what that version is, I don't know. And so the idea came up that in the Rialto courtyard, we would have this contest, which is on the 24th here of May, where we're going to get bartenders and establishments from all 4 districts to create their own story in a glass of Tucson with the history and the diversity and the layers of our culture and our people. And that whoever wins that contest, that becomes the streetcar. And then we see that on menus across. We'll see how it plays out. But you're part of that.
I am. Yeah.
This whole story for me is coming full circle.
It's all coming together. I love it. Yeah, I've got a cocktail that we're gonna roll out for that one. Yeah.
And we're gonna have to have you back because I need to talk more about how this idea of coming up with cocktails and the sort of there's so much behind the bar scene that we need to learn more about. But you'd be willing to come back in a future show?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is airing here towards the end of May. We got the cocktail competition coming up on May 24th. Anything coming up at the bar that we should know about? Anything?
School's about out. The kids are going to be leaving. This is the time of year, and I noticed this in the last couple of years when the university students go, about 2-3 weeks after, the locals start making their way back to downtown.
Can find a spot.
Yeah, so I mean, just for me, it's an invitation for locals to come down and give us a try and come see what we have to offer. With the understanding also that in school, during school, we're down on 4th Avenue, but it's got a different vibe from your I guess your typical stereotypical college bar. So there will be college kids there. They like our prices. They're incredible. But we also have like a standard of behavior. So while we'll all be having fun, we'll be very respectful and nice to each other, accommodating to each other. So, I mean, it's just my big push to get all of the locals I can get back to downtown and make an impression on them and keep on inviting them back.
What are your social handles?
Oh, geez. I'm not even sure, to be honest. Can I look at my phone?
Is it all, well, we can put them up. Is it all,
okay.
It's
Dean's Public House.
Yeah. So we'll find those and we'll put them up there for you.
Dean's Public House on Instagram, Dean's Public House on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
Oh, I guess and TikTok too, but I don't really use that very much.
Yeah, we're the generation where we probably want to.
It's there. Yeah.
All right. Our guest has been Dean Howard, talking about the creation of Dean's Public House and how we got there from a 4-year-old smelling orange blossoms to where we are today. I appreciate your time here on this episode. You can find Life Along the Streetcar all kinds of places, but the easiest is on our website, lifealongthestreetcar.org. But we're on social media. We're on many of the podcasting platforms and YouTube. It's all under Life Along the Streetcar. If you have any topics, any ideas for us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Contact button on the website. You can also just email us directly, contact@lifealongthestreetcar.org. Hope you tune in every Sunday for another episode. And until next time, stay curious, Tucson.